Hi, Sam.
When you took over at Arsenal, it felt like the Champions League was quite a long way away, and then a year later, in COVID, the team was struggling a bit. It felt like even further away. How do you reflect now on that journey and how much the club has changed and how much maybe you've changed as well?
Mixed emotion. I think it feels like yesterday, and in the same way, I think it feels like many more years ago. Yeah, obviously, we had some big situations to go through. We did it together. We did it in a really powerful way. I think as a club, I think with everybody that was involved in that process, and we always believed that we're going to reach there, you know. But something is to try to plan it and then to do it. And actually, we've done it, and we don't want to stop here. That's for sure. And that's the aim, to continue to be better.
And for you personally, how much has that journey changed you, do you think?
I think a lot, but I don't know. We are in this bubble every single day, and probably we don't notice it. But probably when we look back in a few years' time, we will understand a lot of changes, and especially a lot of mistakes probably that we've done along the way that has made us better.
Matt from the Express.
Mikel, Arsene Wenger famously always got through these group stages of the Champions League. It seems the format's going to change, and this is the last time the competition's going to look like this. How important is it to uphold that 100% record and do it for him almost?
Well, that means that we win football matches that we want to do, and we have to start tomorrow and try to play the best possible way like we always do, and compete, because this is a very different competition. The games are different to the Premier League. We have to adapt to that, and hopefully we'll do it very well tomorrow.
And just on the goalkeeper thing, I know you've said it's normal, but we've not really seen it over the last 100 years in the game. Any managers anywhere, including Pep, they've never really swapped game for game. Were they missing something?
Did I say that it's normal to change the keeper every day?
I thought after the game last week that you were treating it like any other position.
I do treat it, but that doesn't mean that I can change every single day. I didn't say that.
Game, but traditionally, managers stuck to the goalkeeper, had a number one for a period.
I don't want to talk about other managers historically, because I can give you a list of things that have happened in the last 24 months.
Okay, we've got Tom from the Sun.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been 6 or 7 years since Arsenal were last in the Champions League. Before then, I think it was 19 years in a row. Do you think, in the current level of competition in the Premier League, that's a goal to aim for, that's actually realistic these days for clubs, that they can be in it for that long?
I don't know. I think looking at the Premier League, and we've seen in the last 5 or 10 years what happened. You don't take it for granted. You really have to earn it. It's a really big thing to be qualifying in this Premier League for the Champions League, and we earned it last year, and this season we're gonna have to fight it really hard to try to earn it again. That's for sure.
You asked earlier about the relative lack of experience at Champions League level in your squad. Kai Havertz has got perhaps the biggest big game experience in the competition, having scored in the final a few years ago. Will you be looking to lean on him a little bit to help the other players in terms of the experience?
We consider every option, and obviously the emotional state of players is really important. The experiences that they had within the competition is something that really affects them, especially when you had very positive ones like him and Georgie had in this competition, and for sure it's something to consider.
Gary from the Times.
Can you explain your experiences in the competition? What was the differences in playing it as opposed to the league? Because as you say, you have got the experienced squad. And what are the things you're going to be saying to them that are going to be the differences tomorrow night? Especially the time when you sort of played, sometimes perhaps Arsenal were a little bit naive in that period many years ago and were undone in games.
Europe is different. The pace of the game is different. The quality of the position is different. Culturally, you find the games that require different things, and the way the law applies from referees, it is different in this league. The fact that you have to earn a certain amount of points, especially in the group stage, it makes the game different, because sometimes it's enough to hold for a draw. In the Premier League, we will never do it, and opponents, and before especially the away goals as well, he counted so much, something that domestically is never important. So there is a lot of little rules that changes, I think, the context of the game in a big way.
Isam from the Daily Mail.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
When the groups were drawn, this particular group was dubbed by some as the Europa League group because of the teams that were in there. Some bookmakers have you in the top four now as favourites, or in the top four as to win the competition. What do you make of the reaction to the group, and do you think it's a good omen as to how far you guys could go this season in the Champions League?
I don't know. I think as manager, we will look at the opponent and all the positive things and all the things that they do really well, and we know how hard it is to win in football nowadays and in this competition for sure. So yeah, go by game and try to prepare the best possible way to win. That's it.
Okay, we'll do that.
Kai, for example, with he's obviously scored in the Champions League final before. With his experience going far into a tournament like this, what do you think that can bring to you guys this season?
Sorry, I missed the last part.
With Kai and his
Yeah.
goal in the Champions League final, and obviously the experience going far in a tournament like this, what do you think that can bring to Arsenal this season?
As I said, those experiences are always good as well. He knows the manager of PSV because they work together, so it's important elements, you know, and those experiences are good to share. And we've seen that when other people that has won a lot have come to the club, how they have transformed as well that culture and that energy, and it's something really positive. We have to use it.
Okay, last couple now. We'll go to Nick from the Guardian.
Okay.
Hi.
When you look across Europe now, the financial advantage that Premier League clubs have is, by whichever measure you look at that, is huge, and there's no getting around it. It does give them a competitive advantage. Do you think we're at the point now where we should just expect the Premier League clubs should win the Champions League every year?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, the consistency that the clubs showed in the last year, you know, tells you. But after you have to perform, and other clubs are really well equipped. You know, the biggest club in this competition is Real Madrid. No one can fight with that because historically they've done it, and I think every year they favor it because they've done it. But this is changing, and hopefully we can prove that the domestic competition that we have that help us in the Champions League as well.
Can you win it this year?
Sorry,
Can you win it this year?
I'm thinking about winning tomorrow. That's the only thing that I worry about.